Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. Now if you've followed this channel for a while, you'd be fully aware that Bray Wyatt was a huge inspiration to this channel. And that's an understatement. Truth be told, if it weren't for Bray Wyatt and his creative genius, this channel wouldn't even exist. And we've built up an incredible community. And I thank each and every one of you that has supported me throughout that journey, through this channel, through the toughest of times, including of course this year, because of course tragically we lost Bray Wyatt. And WWE will never feel the same without the creative genius that Wyndham Rotunda brought us. The beauty of the Bray Wyatt creative was that just as we thought we'd solve puzzles, he would change the pieces. Just as we thought we'd found the answers to the questions, he changed the questions. It was always so dynamic, so unique, and so much fun to try and solve these puzzles on this channel. So I thought it would only feel fitting for our final video of 2023 to be in tribute to Bray Wyatt, where we can look back at the previous storyline, bring it to the present day, and potentially look at the storyline moving forward, potentially honouring the legacy of Bray Wyatt, continuing via Alexa Bliss and co. Now, of course, a question that comes up an awful lot, a question I get asked a lot, is can the Bray Wyatt storyline continue in the absence of Bray Wyatt via Alexa Bliss, Bo Dallas and co? And the more time I've had to think about this, I still don't have a concrete answer. But I always think back to, what would Wyndham say? What would Wyndham think? And if Wyndham, which I'm sure he is looking down on each and every one of us, all of his true fans, he would want this to continue in some capacity. He would want us to still talk about his previous storylines. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to try and bring the storyline of the past up to the present day and see tastefully how potentially the Bray Wyatt storyline could continue. Now, in order to be able to move forward with this storyline, we need to take a look back. We need to take a trip down memory lane all the way back to WrestleMania 37, where of course Alexa Bliss cost The Fiend in his matchup against Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss seemingly sent The Fiend away. And shortly after WrestleMania, Alexa Bliss claimed that she had complete control, that she no longer needed The Fiend, that she had full power. Of course, if we peel away the kayfabe, around that time, Bray Wyatt was shockingly released from WWE. And we briefly saw Playground Alexa, Dark Alexa, continue that darker gimmick, but it was met with resistance from WWE fans, and eventually they scrapped that gimmick. Charlotte Flair destroyed the Lily doll, Alexa Bliss then got therapy, and then came back in this, I'm only going to describe it as in limbo Alexa Bliss. This felt like a character that they gave Alexa Bliss because they knew potentially that Bray Wyatt was going to return to WWE. It almost felt like Alexa Bliss was a shell of the person she once was. Bray was no longer with WWE, a shell of the person he once was, the powerful Fiend, until October 2022, one of the best returns in WWE in recent memory. The return of Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. Let's not forget, the first time we saw Bray Wyatt upon his return, he removed the mask, the Uncle Howdy mask, and returned from the Firefly Funhouse. It's a big clue here in all of this, which we'll come on to in a moment. Now, from the very first moment we saw Uncle Howdy in the Firefly Funhouse on the TV set, I saw him as the ultimate puppet master, the one in control of everyone, in control of the Firefly Funhouse, but also at the same time, part of Bray Wyatt's darkest psyche. Uncle Howdy in that character was so complex, had so many layers to it, and was constantly evolving. We as fans were constantly questioning Uncle Howdy, and at a later date, Bray Wyatt actually went on to admit that he was Uncle Howdy. He said, I am the Eater of Worlds. I am Uncle Howdy. I am him. That he's everything, that he's got control of his family now, which would maybe explain why we saw Bo Dallas portraying Uncle Howdy. The clue was in the lyrics to his theme Shatter, lie for me brother, use me for cover. Remember the lyrics also, I am the coil, I am the spring, I am the ghost in the machine. Was Uncle Howdy part of Bray Wyatt's darkest psyche? And the ultimate puppet master, the ultimate power play that Bray Wyatt was bringing to the table? We'll never truly know, but all we know is Uncle Howdy got both Bray Wyatt and then Alexa Bliss to embrace the darkness, which is why we saw Uncle Howdy targeting Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss ultimately giving in to the powers of Uncle Howdy. For a brief stint, Alexa Bliss believed that she was still the one in control, squaring up against Uncle Howdy on the Titantron, standing her ground until of course she lost to Bianca Belair, and Uncle Howdy popped up on the screen and questioned whether she was the one in charge. Uncle Howdy's mission all along was to get both Bray and Alexa to embrace the darkness, to return them to the Firefly Funhouse, and I still believe to this present day that those were Alexa Bliss's hands in the Firefly Funhouse, and the plan was for Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt to come back together once more in their darker alter egos at WrestleMania 40, and I think that would have potentially been the revival of The Fiend. But The Fiend as part of this Wyatt 6, I don't think The Fiend would have been booked the way he had been previously, hence why this was Bray Wyatt rewriting the ending to his story. The Fiend in the box, if you like, that Jack in the Box in the Firefly Funhouse, was to me a clear giveaway, a clear sign that The Fiend was going to come back once more. I felt like there would have been other alter egos, other characters that we may have seen down the line, but I feel this would have been rewriting the ending to the story that Bray Wyatt clearly didn't get to run with under the guidance and the leadership of Vince McMahon at the time. I think Triple H would, of course, given him pretty much full creative reign to play out something legendary at WrestleMania and moving on from that. And of course, at this year's Royal Rumble, we saw a new masked character reveal from Bray Wyatt. This new masked character and Uncle Howdy working in sync to take out LA Knight. Now, we'll never know the true identity of that character, the name of that character, but I feel this was almost a stepping stone, a transition into Bray Wyatt bringing The Fiend back once more. But I think The Fiend would have been part of many characters as part of a bigger scale faction, which would have then led to a Wyatt 6. Probably explains why on that weather report promo that Uncle Howdy said, I am all of us, because he controls the Wyatt 6. Now, of course, that brings up the obvious and important question: how can you continue this storyline tastefully without disrespecting the Bray Wyatt legacy, the Bray Wyatt creative genius? Now, first and foremost, if Triple H and WWE decide creatively to roll with this, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's with the full approval of the Rotunda family, specifically Taylor Rotunda, of course, Wyndham's brother. It would have to be approved by the Rotunda family first and foremost, but you've got logical explanations with certain characters such as Alexa Bliss. In kayfabe, she was trapped in the Firefly Funhouse. Uncle Howdy wanted, after all, Alexa Bliss to embrace the darkness, to revel in what you are. She can do that upon return. Bo Dallas can return under the Uncle Howdy gimmick for one night, where he removes the mask, reveals that it was him protecting his brother, that he's going to go on and honour the legacy of his brother and forge his own legacy along the way. Braun Strowman has already gone out and said when he returns, it's not just for him, it's for Bray. You could have former Wyatt family members return. You could have Eric Rowan come back into the fold. That Uncle Howdy, the ghost in the machine, is looking down on his brothers. He wants them to create a faction. He wants them all to come together. It doesn't have to be directly linked. You've just got logic with Alexa in Bow, and you can integrate other acts into the fold, where you've got this darker faction coming together, this dominant faction coming together as their own 6 members. You could have Alexa Bliss and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Bo Dallas on the men's side with Braun Strowman, maybe Joe Gacy, or if they bring back Eric Rowan. So you've then got 3 male members, 3 female members in this darker faction moving forward, which would be awesome, all under the control of the spirit of the Ghost of the Machine in Uncle Howdy. And you leave it at that, never gets referenced ever again. We just know it's in honour of Bray and his legacy moving forward. Obviously, you'd have to be very careful about how you run things moving forward. There couldn't be too many direct links. Maybe some nice Easter eggs along the way in promos. Hats off to Bray and his legacy. But you've got to be careful that it's not too closely linked and related to previous, because that would just feel like a copy of someone that was the original creative genius behind all of this. But what do you think? Get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions, your wildest theories. And I want to close this video by saying a massive thank you to each and every one of you that supported this channel. All the likes, all the shares, all the comments. It means the world. It's such a fantastic community. And I'm so excited to share new videos with you in 2024. The future is certainly very bright when it comes to WWE and the product at the moment. So super excited for that. And I want to close by saying Happy New Year to all of you. And we'll catch you in the new year post WWE Day 1. See you soon.